You ever look in the mirror and not recognize who's looking back? That feeling right there isn't fear. It isn't confusion. It's evolution. See, people like to think they know you. They place you inside a neat little box, slap a label on it, and expect you to stay the same. Predictable, manageable. But what happens when you refuse? What happens when you burn that version of yourself and walk out as something they never saw coming? Oh, they panic. They squirm. Because suddenly, the version of you they knew, the one they controlled, the one they could undermine, is gone. And in its place, something sharper, something colder, something untouchable. You want to know the trick? Never be the same person twice. Keep them guessing. Keep them afraid. Let them wonder who they're dealing with today. Because the moment they think they've got you figured out, that's when you show them a new face. But what about being yourself? That's what they tell you, right? Just be yourself, as if that's some fixed, unbreakable truth. As if you were born with one face, one mind, one heart, and that's all you'll ever be. But let me ask you, were you the same person yesterday? Will you be the same person tomorrow? No, you shed versions of yourself every day, piece by piece, whether you realize it or not. You break, you rebuild, and in between, you decide who gets to meet you next. See, life isn't about finding yourself. It's about creating yourself, again and again and again. The world, it doesn't care about your past. It doesn't care who you used to be. It only reacts to the you standing in front of it right now. So tell me, what are you going to show it? Are you going to show it the weakling who was stepped on? The failure who was laughed at? The loser they ignored? Or are you going to show them something else? A version of you they never expected? Because that's the thing. Every time they try to break you, they're giving you a chance to change. They fire a bullet, so you become fireproof. They try to drown you, so you become the flood. They throw you in the dark, so you become the night itself. And by the time they realize what they've done, by the time they recognize what they've unleashed, it's too late. They say people change, but what they really mean is people aren't supposed to change too much. Oh, a little improvement here, a little lesson there, that's fine. But the moment you become something unrecognizable, the moment you evolve into something they can't predict, they call you dangerous, reckless, unstable, lost. But what if you were never meant to be found? What if the real power, the real freedom, is in never being locked into one version of yourself? Think about it. The weak, they stay the same. The strong, they adapt. And the ones who rise above all, the ones who win, they become anything they need to be. You ever see someone go through hell and come out smiling? You ever meet someone who's been shattered into 1,000 pieces, but each time they rebuild themselves stronger, sharper, deadlier? Yeah, that's the art. They didn't stay the same. They refused to be defined by their past. And you think you owe the world the same version of yourself forever? You think you have to keep wearing a mask that doesn't fit anymore just to keep them comfortable? No, burn it. Burn that version of yourself. Evolve, and the next time they see you, let them wonder, let them fear, let them know that whoever you were yesterday is already dead. So, who will you be tomorrow? Guess we'll find out. But that's the fun part, isn't it? The not knowing. See, the ones who stay the same, they live predictable lives, trapped, stagnant, stuck in the same routines, the same circles, the same mistakes. They're easy to control, easy to read, easy to break. But when you become unpredictable, when you refuse to be boxed in, that's when you own the game. You ever notice how the world respects the ones they can't figure out? The ones they can't pin down? They watch them with fear, with admiration, with caution. Because nothing is more terrifying than a person who can be anything at any moment. That's the difference between prey and predator. Prey follows the same path every day, same movements, same habits. And the predator? It watches, it learns, it waits. And then, when the moment is right, it changes. It moves differently, strikes differently, becomes something new. And the prey never sees it coming. That's what they don't understand about you. They think they can define you. They think they can predict you. They think they can own you. But every time they do, you shift, you evolve, you slip through their fingers like smoke. And by the time they realize who they're dealing with, by the time they think they've got you figured out, you're someone else entirely. That's how you win. That's how you survive. But here's where it gets tricky, because not everyone can do this. Most people, they're afraid of change, afraid of becoming something new. They cling to their past like it's all they have, afraid that if they let go, they'll have nothing left. But you're different, aren't you? You've felt it, that pull, that hunger, that need to shed your old self and step into something more. And yet, something holds you back. Is it fear? Is it guilt? Or is it that quiet little voice whispering, what if you lose yourself completely? Let me tell you a secret. You can't lose yourself if you were never meant to stay the same. You weren't built to be one thing forever. You were meant to break, to rebuild, to transform. And if you do it enough times, you become something unstoppable. But let me warn you, this path, it's lonely. People won't understand. They'll call you cold. They'll call you crazy. They'll say you've changed too much. Of course you have. That was the point. The ones who fear change. They'll try to pull you back, try to remind you of who you used to be, try to make you doubt yourself. You've changed. Yes, I have, and I'll do it again. You're not the person I used to know. Good. That person is gone. They don't want you to evolve, because the moment you do, they can't control you anymore. So let them talk, let them whine, let them cling to their own little worlds where things never change, where they feel safe. But you were never meant to live in a cage. But let's not pretend it's all that simple. You see, becoming unpredictable, it comes with a price. When you refuse to stay the same, you start to notice something peculiar. The faces around you, they start to look different, colder. The voices that once cheered for you, they grow quieter. The hands that used to reach for you, gone. Because the truth is, most people don't want to see you change. They want the old version of you, the one they could understand, the one they could manipulate, the one who fit into their world. But the moment you start to shift, the moment you refuse to be predictable, they turn, they whisper, they watch from a distance. That's the thing about evolution. It's a lonely road. Because when you stop being the person they used to know, you force them to look at themselves. And they don't like what they see. They realize they're stagnant. They realize they're afraid. They realize they'll never change. And so, instead of growing with you, they do what weak people always do. They try to pull you back. You're different now. Damn right. You've changed too much, not enough. I miss the old you. The old me is dead. And if you're still here clinging to that corpse, that's your problem. But I get it, I really do. You still feel it, don't you? That little ache in your chest. That part of you that still wants to belong. Because no matter how strong you are, no matter how much you change, there's still that voice. The one that asks, will anyone stay? Let me save you some time. No, not the ones you expect. Not the ones you thought would ride with you till the end. Because the truth is, when you outgrow your past, you outgrow the people who still live in it. You'll walk alone. But here's the real secret. You were always alone. You just never noticed it before. But you know what happens when you embrace it? When you stop looking for a hand to hold and start carving your own path, you become untouchable. See, people fear what they don't understand. And there is nothing more terrifying than someone who cannot be defined. One day, you're quiet. The next, you're a storm. One day, you're patient. The next, You burn the whole damn house down. No pattern, no predictability, just power. That's the art, my friend. The art of never being the same person twice.